You picked the Thanksgiving WOD.
Yeah, I picked
With the second movement is muscle ups. And you set the alarm off. Popo's on its way.
I put away instead of stay. Oh God. Whoopsies.
'Cause I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love.
Big sunshine.
Still sleeping, looking like a Chinese guy right now.
What's in that?
That is some type of pre-workout with floaty things. Have no clue what the floaty things are, but supposedly they do something.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's my coffee.
You sure?
Yes.
Positive.
Well, don't mess with it. Thankful for Ronnie doing this 7 a.m. 12 days of thankfulness WOD with me today. We are about to open the gym. We'll warm up. I'll finish this coffee.
Happening.
And then we're gonna have fun.
My coffee.
What we're gonna do is this workout right here. So it's kind of like the one that we do for Christmas. You do it kind of backwards. So you start with the 100-meter run, then you do 2 muscle-ups, 100-meter run. Then you do 3 dumbbell thrusters, 2 muscle-ups, 100-meter run. 4 burpee box jump over, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, and you go all the way down until 12. And these workouts take forever. Still going on those man makers. Like, are you kidding me? It's the longest time I've ever worked out straight. Oh my God.
Really?
And yeah,
Wow, that's awesome.
Rio competed, Lesnar competed, Swamy competed.
It's a mind game, dude. That's chess on the mat.
Yeah, chess. That's all that's on.
The reason I got this coffee, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. This is just to get some extra protein in before Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna do a cup of almond milk. You put some of this ISO Pure Colombian coffee in here. I'm gonna throw some ice in here. Pour sauce. It's kind of like a macchiato in a sense. Then we're gonna do the Colombian coffee. And a little bit of cinnamon sugar. And this is like 4 carb, 27 grams of protein. And I'm just gonna have this while I make my breakfast so that I can get a bit more protein with less fat and less carbs before Thanksgiving. So here is the finished product. I have Kodiak cake, pumpkin pancakes, 2 pieces of chicken bacon, and an egg white veggie scramble plus 1 egg in there as well. I feel like a lot of times with things like Thanksgiving and stuff, people like starve themselves all day and they don't eat anything before this meal. And I don't really think that that's the best way to go about doing something like that, because I feel like when you're so hungry, at least for me, I would eat anything. Like I would probably make choices that I wouldn't make if I wasn't as hungry. So instead of like starving myself or fasting until Thanksgiving, I'm just eating my normal meals, but I'm eating extra protein, less fat, and less carb, because I know that the meal later on today is gonna have a lot more fat and carb than things I would normally eat. This is what I'm about to eat right now. Very excited. Who's ready to go to Grandma and Grandpa's? Oh, it's time to go. Come on, Tuck.
Hey, come on. Come on, Tuck.
They're so cute. Bailey, go get him. Oh. 7. Okay, so I am taking Bailey on a potty break outside. I'm not gonna vlog like every single thing obviously that I eat, because I just want to spend time with family and everything, so I'll kind of try to get a couple clips of like the food and everything that's going on, but I'm just gonna try to mostly enjoy the moment. But I just wanted to check in with you guys, and I just, you know, I feel like this whole holiday thing is like such a thing that people worry about when it comes to like eating and stuff, and it doesn't really have to be so stressful. So I'm gonna talk more about it at the end of this vlog, but I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving, and I'm about to go eat some food. Are you being a good girl? You're such a good girl.
Happy birthday, dear Amanda. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for my birthday gift. It's so cute.
Guess who wants the first piece?
Oh yeah, a little turkey. Okay, so I wanted to end this video just kind of talking about a few things that I've noticed during this holiday season when it comes to tracking macros, or maybe you don't track macros, or you're just kind of like trying to eat healthier. And I think that if you're on social media, you will see a ton of Fitspo people. That word sounds weird coming out of my mouth. I read it and I don't think I've ever actually said that. When you scroll on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, you will see a ton of like what not to do during the holidays, or like holiday hacks, or the diet things. And I think that when it comes to, obviously Thanksgiving in particular, because that's the holiday that just passed, and now we have Christmas coming up and Hanukkah and everything like that. I feel like a lot of people forget that the holidays really are not supposed to be about food. Like, yeah, holiday food is great and it's delicious, but that's not the purpose of the holidays. And whatever the holidays means to you is what I personally feel like you should focus on. So like if the holidays to you means giving back, then you should do whatever that is to focus on giving back and not so much worry about the food. The way that I personally handle the holidays is honestly, I don't really think about it too much. I think that people get overstressed about one day, and something that I read from my boss, Chrissy, was that people forget that the holidays or just one day in general is like a few drops of food coloring in the whole entire recipe. And if you are consistent for the majority of the year and you eat well and you exercise and things like that, one day of, you know, eating a bunch of Thanksgiving food or not tracking your macros or whatever is not going to be the end of the world. You're not going to lose all of your progress. Sure, you might feel a little bit bloated. Me personally, like I felt so sick after Thanksgiving, but it's not the end of the world. I don't let that one Thanksgiving meal turn into a week of not eating right or overeating or whatever. You just have to realize that one meal or one day, one untracked day is not a big thing in the grand scheme of things. And as soon as you're done with your Thanksgiving meal, you just go right about your regular day the next day. Don't try to compensate, don't try to overwork out, don't try to like work off your food. And I feel like the less stressed that you are about it, the easier that it becomes. I worked out the morning of Thanksgiving, as you guys saw, and then all I did was just eat a little bit extra protein and a little bit less fat and carbs because I knew that primarily the Thanksgiving food was gonna be a ton of fat and a ton of carbs. I don't really see the point in trying to track Thanksgiving. I feel like number one, it's not even gonna be accurate in the first place because you truly have no idea what that person put in their food or how much of what or how much you're eating nonetheless. So it's kind of just like a waste of stress in my opinion, and I think the better way to go about it, just for me personally, is just to acknowledge the fact that I'm probably going to be eating way more fat and carbs than I usually do, so that's why in the morning I had that extra shake, and then I just tried to keep it less fat and less carb before I went to dinner. I mentioned earlier in the video that I don't starve myself the day of like a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or something, because I feel like that's just a recipe for disaster. If you go into that meal so hungry, you're probably going to eat more than you would have if you just were to go about your day regularly and then just kind of indulge in this little like holiday meal. That's just the way that I go about it. I always suggest that to my clients. I tell them not to worry about tracking a Thanksgiving meal. Like I said, it's such a small thing in the big picture, it really doesn't matter. And you should make the most of the time that you have with your loved ones and not be worrying about like eating more fat than you usually do. And you know, I just think there's a time and place for that. Obviously, if you have a weightlifting meet the next weekend, maybe it might not be the best idea to, you know, overdo the Thanksgiving food just because it's going to be harder to cut that water weight during the following week. But again, that depends on the individual person. I wouldn't necessarily make a weightlifting meet the weekend after Thanksgiving. If that's you though, then you have to weigh the pros and cons of that and realize that if you do indulge in a Thanksgiving dinner, you're going to have to probably cut more leading up to that meet. So yeah, honestly, I feel like so many people get so worked up about the holiday dinners and this time of year in general, but the way that I feel you can handle it the best is to not let that one meal or that one day turn into a, oh, well, I ate like shit, I'm just gonna eat like shit for the rest of the week, because that type of mentality is what creates that like vicious circle that's hard for people to break out of. So the day after Thanksgiving, don't do anything differently, just go about your usual day as you would before Thanksgiving. Track your macros if you track your macros, drink a little extra water, and just, you know, realize that if you do have a lot more fat or sodium or carbs than you typically do, you're probably going to be a little bit bloated. The scale might go up a couple pounds, but again, yeah, that's one of those things where you just have to kind of weigh the pros and cons and realize that that's something that's going to happen as a result of that. The least stressed you are about it, the least stressed your body will show for it. That's kind of like my thought on it. It only took me like 2 days after Thanksgiving to feel like not so bloated and get back to normal and get back to training, and that was it. And I didn't change my macros, I didn't do anything differently, and I feel totally fine. And that's kind of the purpose of flexible dieting, to be able to like take a break, mentally be flexible as well, what are you doing? A lot of people forget with flexible dieting that it's not just about the food that you're eating, it's also about being flexible mentally, and that's a huge important part of flexible dieting, and just being able to realize when it's fine to take a break and enjoy Thanksgiving or enjoy Christmas or enjoy something that you don't typically get to enjoy for the rest of the year. So that's how I handle the holidays. That's how I'm going to be handling the holidays for the rest of the holiday season. I am going to New York City December 14th through the 17th, so I will totally be enjoying some awesome bagels and waffles and dingus and all kinds of good stuff. And then Christmas is right after that, and then in January starts my cut, so I might as well enjoy it while I can. And I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season and you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.